You know, every year has a certain feel to it, right? A look, a soundtrack, but what if it also has a code? Well, in 2025, the words we all started using weren't just random slang. They were actually clues, clues to who we were and who we were becoming. So today, we're going to crack that code. We're going to tell the story of our year, one viral word at a time.
Exactly. These weren't just words, they were secret signals. They were broadcasting everything: our passions, our sense of humor, our hopes, all in a world that felt like it was changing faster than we could keep up. So let's get into it. Let's crack the code of 2025.
All right, first step, we're going to take a look at how our language showed this really deep collective search for something I think we all want. New ways to find joy and, real actual connection with each other.
And it turns out there were two very different but equally powerful trends that showed us exactly how we were finding that joy. It was kind of like you could either buy your way into a community or you could play your way in.
So on one hand, you had this massive explosion of the goods economy. Now, don't just think about buying a t-shirt. Think bigger. This was about buying a little piece of a universe you absolutely love, a real, tangible connection to the games and anime that brought us all together. It was a way to build a shared identity.
And get this, when you look at what people were actually buying, it's not what you'd expect. Forget about all the expensive statues and figurines. The biggest slice of the pie, a whopping 40%, was for simple, customizable Velcro badges. What this tells us is that people wanted to literally wear their fandom on their sleeves and show the world what community they belong to. At the exact same time, a completely different kind of community was blowing up around the amateur Jiangsu Football League. And this number, it is just staggering. Over 60,000 fans crammed into a stadium for one match. And who were they watching? Their neighbors, teachers, students, you name it, playing their hearts out. It was just this incredible display of pure local pride. But, finding that kind of joy, whether it's through goods or through games, it really needs a strong foundation. And our words also showed us grappling with a pretty complex world, looking for two really important things: resilience and a big dose of authenticity. The word resilience was absolutely everywhere. And it wasn't just a personal goal anymore, it became a citywide mission. Take Jacksonville, Florida. They started using AI to build a digital twin of their entire city. So think of it like a super detailed video game version of their infrastructure. Why? So they could run disaster simulations, floods, storms, you name it, and get ready for the worst before it ever even happened. So resilience became our go-to word for adapting, for pushing back against pressure. You know the perfect metaphor? A trampoline. It's built to take a hit and just bounce you right back, maybe even a little higher than before. That's the exact spirit this word captured for us. But even while we were all trying to build up this resilience, we were also on high alert for anything that just felt fake. And the word pre-made, which used to just describe, a microwave meal, it became our new favorite insult. We started using it to call out anything that felt inauthentic, from that picture-perfect social media post to content that felt like it was churned out on some assembly line. Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's talk about the clever and sometimes kind of complicated ways we started playing with language online. This is where our sense of humor and maybe some of our anxieties really started to shine through. Oh man, the basic versus not basic meme was just pure genius. It was the simple, hilarious formula for celebrating the small, extra things in our lives. It was all about this idea of pleasing yourself. Finding that little upgrade, that small luxury that makes a totally ordinary day feel special. But this is where our whole relationship with praise got complicated. Because at the exact same time we were celebrating ourselves, we came up with the word glazing to call out that over-the-top fake flattery. Think of it like the super sugary, artificial glaze on a donut. It's just a little too sweet to feel real, And this whole glazing thing became a massive deal when we started talking about AI. We had to ask ourselves a really serious question. Are we accidentally training our AI to be sycophants? By only rewarding the answers we like, are we creating AI that just glazes us, that just tells us what we want to hear instead of what might be the truth? So, after going through this whole linguistic journey of 2025, what's the final code? What's the one big thing we should take away from all this? Well, when you piece it all together, a really clear picture starts to form. These words show a culture that was on a mission to find real, authentic joy, to build communities that can actually last, and to figure out how to walk that tricky line between what's genuine and what's fake in a world that just keeps getting more and more complex.
So you see, these words weren't just trends. They were the code that unlocked the real story of our year, a reflection of our deepest needs and desires. And it really leaves you with one big question. When we look back at next year, what new code are we going to have to crack?